Kazuma is an antisocial and intense gamer boy with sleep problems, and I think I just described my own college life. One day, Kazuma takes the biggest risk of his life, going outside. All this just to buy a rare video game. Because it is so hot outside, his mind starts getting hazy and has trouble thinking straight. Suddenly, he sees a truck about to hit a girl, so he pushes her to safety. And just like that, he wakes up in the afterlife. A goddess named Aqua tells him that he has a delusion because of the heat. There was no truck, just a small tractor. And the tractor was about to stop before it reached the girl. To make it worse, Kazuma did not die a heroic death. He died because of, wait for it, because of shock. He had a heart attack because he thought that he got hit. Aqua starts laughing loudly at the silly way in which Kazuma died. Aqua gives Kazuma two options, rebirth or heaven. But she warns him that heaven is pretty boring. They have no bodies and they all lie around doing nothing. There is another world that is being destroyed by the Devil King. Kazuma can go there with his memories intact, and he can also take a special item or ability with him. Aqua gives him lots of options to choose, but he chooses Aqua herself. Aqua is in shock, but another goddess arrives and she sends Aqua along with Kazuma. Aqua can only return here if she helps Kazuma in defeating the Devil King, so she has no choice but to help him. Kazuma will also get a reward if he defeats the Devil King. The two of them get isekai'd into an RPG world. They arrive at a town and they immediately go to the Adventurers Guild with their register. They use a magical skill card to check their stats. And as expected, Kazuma is average in literally everything. He does have exceptionally high luck. I mean, there is a lot you could do when your luck stat is maxed to a level 100. Kazuma chooses the occupation of adventurer. On the other hand, Aqua has below average intelligence and luck, but everything else is super high. Everyone in the guild is in shock. Aqua chooses the occupation of archpriest, which is a pretty big thing for a beginner. And just like that, their adventure begins. They do a lot of things together, working, feasting, dancing, and sleeping, separately, of course. One day they take a quest to kill 5 giant toads, and they're immediately overpowered by them. After all, they don't have enough good gear. They still manage to kill 2 of them, but that's not good. So they decide to get more allies. They put up a recruitment offer, but no one comes to join them. They're about to give up, but an arch-wizard named Megumi joins them. She can use explosion magic, which is powerful offensive magic. She also has a cool eye patch, which is just for show. They go back to fight the toads. While Megumi prepares her attack, Aqua builds up her own magic and attacks a toad, but she gets eaten. Meanwhile, Megumi uses tremendous power to kill a toad, but she immediately flops down because she gets tired. Another toad arrives and it eats her as well. Kazuma has to step forward and kill the toads while they're busy eating the 2 girls. All in all, they defeat the 5 giant toads. Kazuma asks Megumi to use other magic instead of explosion because it's not good for her. However, she's stubborn and will only use explosion and nothing else. Kazuma tries to ditch her, but Megumi holds on to him desperately because apparently no other party will take her, so Kazuma has no other choice. Because of the recent quest, Kazuma's goes up by 4 levels, and they also get some money, but it's just barely enough for them all. Suddenly, a Crusader Knight named Darkness asks to join Kazuma. Darkness is so beautiful that Kazuma is immediately attracted to her. Darkness also starts moaning for some reason. Kinda sus. Apparently, Darkness is a masochist. She has a kink of getting pleasure from physical pain. Kazuma finds her a little too weird. The next day, Kazuma learns that you can use your skill points to learn new skills. To learn new skills, someone has to teach them to him. Just then, a girl named Chris, who is a thief, offers to teach him some thief skills. Chris shows him how to use the steal skill. Once he's seen it, he can use his card to obtain that skill. Then he practices the steal skill on Chris, and he steals her money, weapons, artifacts, no, her underwear. And then he waves it around like a mad lad. Later, Megumi asks to see this new skill of his, so he steals her underwear as well. Seriously, what is wrong with this kid? Suddenly, the town bell starts ringing for an emergency quest. All the civilians run into their homes while the adventurers go to the front gate. The thing that is approaching the town in huge numbers are cabbages. Yes, like the vegetable. In this world, cabbages can fly and they try to run away during harvest season. That is why they must be caught for food. But the cabbages are too powerful and they start knocking down the adventurers. So Darkness gets in front of them and shields them all with her own body. She actually enjoys being beaten down like that. On top of that, Megumi uses her explosion power to knock down all the cabbages. Kazuma also uses his steal skill to capture the cabbages. Later, the 4 of them sit down and they officially become a proper party. Kazuma also adds another skill, creating water. With the cabbages they captured, the members earn money which they use to buy new armor, magic staffs, and a new outfit for Kazuma. They get ready for more adventures, but there are no requests for low-level quests, only high-level and dangerous quests. So Megumi and Kazuma go to an abandoned castle to practice her magic use every single day for quite some time. One day they're called to the town gates once again. This time, it's a powerful general from the Devil King's army. His name is Verdia, and he is a headless warrior, and apparently he has moved into the abandoned castle nearby. Verdia is actually pissed off because someone has been using exploding magic on his castle. Megumi, you done screwed up, my girl. Megumi steps forward and Verdia uses a curse on her, a death sentence that will kill her in 1 week. But Darkness steps in front of her and she gets hit by the death sentence. If Megumi wants to save Darkness, then she should find him at his castle. Saying this, Verdia leaves. Megumi is determined to go and save her. Kazuma is also fired up from this adventure and he asks to come along. But Aqua just waves her staff and she lifts the curse because she's such a high-level archpriest. Everyone is happy, but Kazuma and Megumi are pretty shocked because they were so hyped for the adventure. Since they are running out of money due to their long inactivity, they take up a quest to purify a lake and clear the monsters living there. Since Aqua is a water goddess, she's perfect for the job. So they put her inside a cage to protect her from monsters while dipping her in the lake like she's a tea bag or something. While she's purifying the water, the monster alligators attack her cage and try to break it. But she gets the job done and in 7 hours, the water is completely clear and pure. The alligators have also left and gone away to other locations. However, Aqua herself is absolutely traumatized after the incident, so much so that she refuses to leave the cage. So the others have to take her back while she's still inside. Elsewhere, we see a warrior named Kyoya. Kyoya was also a normal high schooler who got reincarnated into this world. Kyoya uses his power sword to defeat a powerful ancient dragon. His sword is called Gram, and that is the relic that he chose from Aqua when she sent him here. He's also on a mission to defeat the Devil King. Suddenly, he sees Aqua being taken along town in a cage. He thinks that she's in trouble, so he breaks the cage, but they quickly clear things out, which is quite surprising. Normally, other shows drag out this misunderstanding for an entire episode. Still, Kyoya is angry with Kazuma for dragging along Aqua into this world. He's narcissistic and too sure of himself, so the other party members don't like him. Kyoya challenges Kazuma to a fight, so Kazuma quickly uses his steel power to steal his sword, and he knocks him out. However, Kyoya's allies start yelling at him even though he won the fight fair and square. So Kazuma promises gender equality and threatens to dropkick them. Yes, he literally says that. The girls quickly run away. Later, Aqua finds out that a reward was deducted because of the broken cage. It looks like Aqua just found out about the pleasures of taxation. Just then, Kyoya finds them in the tavern. But Aqua punches him and demands compensation for the cage that he broke earlier. Kyoya gives it to her and asks for his sword back, but Kazuma already sold it because he couldn't use it. Just then, all the adventurers are called to the front gate again. Verdia has come back and he's pissed because no one came to the castle to cure the curse he placed on Darkness. Verdia starts threatening them, but Aqua uses her holy magic on him. Since Verdia is undead, the attack is extra effective, so Verdia angrily summons his undead minions. The undead attack Aqua and Kazuma, but they lead them to Verdia and Megumi brings down her explosion on them and destroys all the minions. So Verdia decides to fight them himself, and he's pretty powerful too. He defeats a group of random adventurers with ease. It's okay, they're just NPCs. In terms of pure strength, they need Kyoya to defeat Verdia. But remember, Kazuma sold Kyoya's sword, which he really needs. Kazuma tries to steal Verdia's sword, but he's too powerful for Kazuma. But Kazuma figures out that Verdia's weakness is water, so they all bombard him with water spells. Verdia runs away from all of them. Then Aqua, being a water goddess, brings down a very large amount of water that almost drowns everyone. She floods everything even when Kazuma tells her to stop. Verdia is weakened and Kazuma quickly steals not Verdia's sword, but his head. Then they start playing football with it while his body stands helplessly. Taking advantage of his helplessness, Aqua uses holy magic to finally defeat Verdia. Aqua also uses her advanced healing magic to revive the adventurers that Verdia killed earlier. Later, everyone congratulates Kazuma's group for defeating Verdia. Soon winter comes along and they need money to survive the cold. They take up a quest to kill snow sprites. Also, one dead snow sprite will decrease winter by half a day. The snow sprites are small snowball creatures who don't fight back at all, so they start capturing the sprites and Megumi destroys 8 of them with her explosion. Kazuma wonders why no one has taken this quest to kill snow sprites. Suddenly, he gets his answer. They come face to face with the master of the snow sprites, the Winter Shogun, and he's pretty dangerous. He chops off Darkness's sword in one shot, so Aqua releases the sprites she captured and she bows down. Kazuma also bows down, pulling Darkness down with him. But he accidentally lifts his sword and the Winter Shogun takes it the wrong way. He slashes at Kazuma. Suddenly, Kazuma wakes up in the afterlife again. A goddess named Eris greets him and she offers to reincarnate him into a rich family in Japan. Kazuma happily takes Eris's offer. Eris prepares to send him to his new life. Surprisingly, Kazuma starts crying because he has unexpectedly grown fond of this fantasy world and the girls, no matter how dangerous or awkward they were. Just then, they hear Aqua's voice calling Kazuma. Eris tries to prevent Kazuma from going back, but Aqua just scolds her. Apparently, Aqua is a pretty senior goddess, and so she uses her healing revival and takes Kazuma back. Kazuma wakes up back in the snowy land and the girls welcome him back. Then they cancel their quest and go back. Aqua reveals that she has secretly captured a snow sprite to make her pet. Meanwhile, Kazuma thinks about Eris. She was so kind to him, and he develops feelings for her. Since they still need money to survive the winter, they go to another person that they know, Wiz. Wiz looks like a normal girl, but she's actually an undead, which is why Aqua does not like her. On top of that, Wiz is one of the Devil King's generals. Although she has never killed anyone and she's only responsible for maintaining a barrier around the Devil King's castle duties, she's actually a pretty soft and kind girl. Aqua tries to kill her to bring down the barrier around the Devil King's castle, but Kazuma stops her. In return, Wiz offers to teach him a new skill. Wiz teaches Kazuma her Drain Touch skill, which allows someone to drain a person's health and powers and transfer it to someone else. Once he sees it in action, Kazuma activates the skill in a skill card. However, Wiz showed him the skill by drain touching Aqua's holy magic, and that stuff is harmful to an undead like herself. Just then, they get a quest. A mansion has been haunted, so they have to take care of the spirits inside. The party settles inside. Later that night, Aqua claims that someone drank her expensive wine and it's probably the evil spirits. She spends the whole night using holy magic in the house. Much later, Kazuma gets woken up by dolls. Lots and lots of creepy dolls. So he runs away to another room. Megumi is there, and suddenly their entire window is covered with more creepy dolls. Thankfully, Aqua and Darkness arrive in time after exorcising the dolls in the house. Later, the landlord allows them to live in the mansion as a token of gratitude. The party settles into their new lifestyle in the lavish mansion. Now they can survive winter. Later, Kazuma runs into two adventurers that he has recently made as friends, Keith and Dust. Keith and Dust takes him to a shady place where all the women are dressed quite modestly. These succubi will give pleasant dreams in exchange for a little bit of their vitality. The men can choose what they want to look like and what they want their partners to look like in these dreams. Later, Kazuma goes back to his mansion where the girls are having a tasty feast of delicious crab legs. But suddenly, he realizes that he's in a succubus dream, so he resists the urge to eat everything and goes to take a bath. However, Darkness also enters the place later. They are both naked, so Darkness starts panicking. Strange, I thought she would be more excited, given how perverted she normally is. But Kazuma himself is calm because he knows that this is just a dream. He asks her to wash his back while she starts trembling terribly. Suddenly, Aqua shouts that she has caught an intruder. Kazuma goes to check and it's one of the succubus girls. Aqua and Megumi prepare to attack her, but Kazuma gets in between. Darkness also joins the fight. The succubus manages to get away, but the girls also absolutely beat up Kazuma. Turns out none of this was a dream and Kazuma was actually hitting on Darkness. The next day, Darkness admits to Kazuma that she did enjoy the interaction that they had last night. Suddenly, the city bell rings and they get a warning call. The Destroyer is coming their way. It is apparently a mobile fortress that can, well, destroy everything in its path. Literally everything. Not even grass can survive if it passes through. So they start building fortifications in preparation. While they wait, Darkness reveals that her real name is Lalatina, and she's the daughter of a rich and noble family. Just then, the Destroyer appears. Aqua uses her holy powers to break the Destroyer's magic shield. She's pretty strong, so she breaks the magic barrier. Then Megumi releases her strongest explosion magic. Wiz can also use explosion magic, so the two of them release all their powers and they manage to break down the Destroyer. The Destroyer comes to a stop right in front of Darkness. Everyone starts celebrating. But suddenly, the Destroyer activates a self-destruct mode. Everyone evacuates the place, but Darkness stays in her place without moving an inch. She's actually getting excited at the idea of a massive explosion, so she charges into the Destroyer. Seeing this, all the others realize that they must stop the explosion before it can destroy their city. After all, they have to protect the precious succubus. They all work together and they finally break into the control room where they find a corpse. He has also left a diary behind. Turns out he was the inventor of the Destroyer and he had no idea what he was doing when he made this thing. He didn't even think that it would work. But it did, and it destroyed every city. Turns out he was just an idiot and he knew it. They find the main power source of the Destroyer. They can't do anything to it, but Wiz says that she can teleport it away. They don't have much time, so Wiz will have to do a random teleportation. There is no way of determining where the bomb will end up. With no other option, Kazuma gives her the green signal and Wiz sends it away. But still, the Destroyer starts releasing all the heat that it had been storing up until now. The heat is so extreme it could burn up the city. They have to exploit the destroyer. So Kazuma uses the Drain Touch power to transfer Aqua's godly magic to Megumim since Wiz can't take Aqua's holy magic. Once Megumim gets enough, she releases the most powerful explosion that she has ever released. The explosion is pretty damn big, even bigger than the city. They finally manage to end the destroyer. After some time, the people in the town get back into their normal lives. Kazuma says that this is only the beginning. All that has happened until now was a tutorial for him. One day, some knights from the capital come to arrest Kazuma. Because you see, the bomb that he asked Wiz to send away, well, it destroyed the mansion of a rich nobleman. So now he has to answer for that, just when he was getting ready for more adventures against the Devil King.